Good morning and welcome back to Montana. Today I'm just gonna have you guys shadow me, so to speak. Just show you what a day looks like in my life. Every single day is a little bit different, but you know what? That's kind of the joy of being a stay-at-home mom and a homesteading mom. I do homeschool, we're just off for the summer. So yeah, so let's get started. For those of you who don't know me, I am Cece. My husband Kirk and I homestead in the big beautiful state of Montana. And right now it is a very, very warm week. I have started doing farmer's market, so I need to get some yogurt started this morning. My husband needed some clean jars to take out milking, so I quick got out of bed this morning, got some yogurt started here. I always skim the cream off of it because a lot of times we use milk that's been sitting in the fridge for a day or two and the cream comes to the top. I also found it's a lot harder to stir the cream in when I'm making yogurt. So I will be making butter later today. Got a bunch of milk heating up to make yogurt. I will probably incubate the yogurt outside today. It's supposed to be, like I said, quite warm. And then that'll allow my oven for when I'm going to make enchiladas tonight for supper. We are going to be working in the garden some this morning. Mid-afternoon, early to mid-afternoon, I pretty much just stop what I'm doing for a while, take a rest. It's the heat of the day, and then later in the evening we work again. So let's get started with this morning. Like I said, I got some yogurt and everybody's gonna need some coffee. So we make what we call cowboy style coffee on the stove. I have another video of how we do cowboy coffee if that's something that you're interested in doing. We like it because there's no more coffee filters to have to deal with. The flavor's stronger, and honestly, it's just as fast as running it through a coffee maker. You have to use less grounds, better flavor. It does take a lot more eyeballs on it though. Okay, yogurt's about 120. I wanted to get to about the 150, 180, somewhere in there. If I go up to the 150 to 160 mark, I really struggle. It scorches on the bottom. So I found if I let it go to about that 120, 140, I don't scorch it on the bottom. With that being said, sometimes I don't get as nice, thick yogurt then if I don't get it quite as hot. But I'm kind of okay with that too because I strain everything. So I'm gonna let the coffee sit just a little bit longer, let the grounds kind of settle to the bottom, and then I always pour just a little bit out in the sink because you always get like the spout is full of grounds. So I always pour just a little bit into the sink and wait till it runs clear, and then the coffee is ready to go. Okay, one kiddo said he would take some peaches, so this is just some leftover peaches, actually from his snack last night that he did not finish up. The other kiddo said they would take raspberries and strawberries. I use freeze-dried stuff. I have a link below if you wanted to check some of these out. And then top it with some honey. And breakfast for the kids are ready. Kirk and I will eat when he comes in from milking. Tell me you're mom without telling me you're mom. I'll go first. Eat the leftovers. Still waiting on hubby to come in from milking. My yogurt is about 140. I was saying past 150 it tends to scorch. I think it's more like past 160. And I should get it all the way up to 180, but if I can get it to that 150, 160 mark, I'll be happy. So, just enough oatmeal left for him. I get some leftovers, drink a cup of coffee. By then, my yogurt will probably need my next, the next step done to it. I just stirred the yogurt. I can feel it starting to scorch on the bottom, so I'm just gonna turn it off and just let it sit there for about 10-15 minutes. Kirk has put the milk in the fridge and is currently finishing up the meat chicks. So this will be perfect timing. I can sit down and have breakfast with him and not have to worry about that. Breakfast is done. Yogurt is ready to get cooled off. So I have very nice deep farm sinks. So I'm just gonna fill it up with some cold ice water and set my big old container of yogurt in here to cool off. Today at breakfast, Kirk and I were talking that might need to get another pulsator. Something must have happened and this one seems to be leaking air, which means if he doesn't hold it in the exact right position, we don't get like suction, which is a problem because then you can't milk. So looks like we'll have to be buying another pulsator. So that's kind of what we talked about. And I thought about doing cheese today because our refrigerator is pretty full of milk. We're running out of clean jars. And I thought about doing cheese, but where's my cheese pot? And yogurt's gonna be in that for a while. So I think I'm gonna try to do some chocolate milk. I might try making pudding for the very first time. But before I tackle any of that, as soon as this is ready to be warmed and go in the incubator, I need to go hill my potatoes. We got some dirt yesterday. I got maybe about half of them done yesterday by myself. And then in the evening we went and got some more dirt. And I think I have about five gallon buckets full of dirt that I need to go hill my potatoes. So as soon as this is ready to go, I gotta go outside before it gets too hot. Leave a little for ice water later today. As I was getting the cooler ready outside, my yogurt was already cooled down. So now I'm going to add my starter and take that outside. It's a frozen starter. Okay, so this is what I do. Put about 3 gallons of warm water in there. It is currently in the shade, but it will not be for long. I'll just let that sit outside here till this evening, and it'll thicken right up for me. Alright, I'm gonna hill potatoes. I've never done this before. Yesterday I got started on it, you can kind of see. I've never done this. Normally I can dig them deep enough that I don't have to worry about it, but this dirt was a lot harder this spring than we anticipated. Yes, there's a lot of grass growing up in my garden. It's just a battle that is always there. So for this morning, I'm just going to worry about hilling my potatoes, and I will tackle weeds another day.
Okay, that wasn't quite as long as I thought. I think it really helped to have it in buckets, but oh yeah, I definitely need to build some more muscle. I think we're gonna go ahead and try to do, you know, some more, because it's not, I think I waited too long. Honestly, I think I waited way too long, so I don't know if this is gonna do any good or not, but it's worth a try. Anyways, this is what the rest of my garden is looking like. Pretty happy with it, other than the grass that just keeps coming up, but soon the plants will be tall enough that the grass won't really be a big deal.
Okay, my next step, honestly, I think I'm just going to sit down, maybe do a second cup of coffee, should probably read my Bible, probably look at social media. I'm probably gonna look up some different recipes how to make pudding, and I'm just gonna kind of take a little breather. And then I think my main job today is to clean this refrigerator and clean our back refrigerator. We are people who do not do a very good job about eating leftovers. So there's a lot of food in there that's gonna need to go to the chicken bucket. And that's okay. We'll get it cleaned out. Then I'll have room to make chocolate milk and room to do pudding and such like later. The cream, originally I had said I was gonna make butter, and then I completely forgot that we have a birthday party coming up and I'm gonna need to make ice cream. So the cream went back into the refrigerator so I can make ice cream later. Probably won't happen today. I'll probably make that much closer to the birthday, but that's gonna be my main job, is the refrigerators today and chocolate milk and pudding. All right, I had probably an hour at least to just kind of sit down, chill out. Oh, my step counter did not clear from yesterday, so now I have no idea how many steps I've actually done today. But anyways, next thing I'm going to tackle is cleaning out the refrigerator. All right, here's the before picture. I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Much better. We had a very simple lunch of sandwiches, PB&J, chips, that kind of thing. And then after lunch, I always take a little bit of rest, a little bit of quiet time. A lot of times I go upstairs to my bed and just kind of have it quiet for a little. And I was about to the end of it, and I had a little one come up and go, "Mommy, you may not feel very good." So the rest time ended up taking a lot longer than anticipated because that little one ended up falling asleep. Anytime I tried to make little moves or get out of bed or do this or that, little eyeballs would wake up and go, "You're still here, right, Mama?" So that little one has now woken up, and both of them are having an applesauce snack, and I'm going to make some chocolate milk. So first steps is I want to cream the top. You can see right here's the cream line, and I'm just going to go ahead and add it to the jar of cream that I used this morning when I creamed it for yogurt. My chocolate milk recipe that I use comes from Ruthann Zimmerman. She also has a YouTube channel and on Instagram, and she is such a fun person to follow. So here is the milk. Next, I'm going to take a half a cup of cocoa powder, half a cup of sugar, half a cup of hot water, and a little bit of salt and a little bit of vanilla. Just put it all in here, heat it up. Then I'll go ahead and pour it into my glass jar, and then put this in something that we can use and pour out of a lot easier. So depending on what for order you do, sometimes the sugar or the cocoa powder will get stuck kind of in the crevices where your whisk doesn't reach. So oftentimes I have like a little spatula that I go around the edges and then just use it to wipe out all the goodies. So I just basically make sure that it's heated up, dissolved, and there we go. Now let's dump it into our milk here. pour everything into this container here. I forgot how good that is. Okay, meanwhile, I got some burger out to thaw for enchiladas, and I'm gonna try to make chocolate pudding. I'm using the recipe off of this. I've never made it before, we'll try it. I think I have all my ingredients ready because I don't know how thick it's gonna get, how quickly. And then I'm gonna pour them into these little teacups when I'm done. And let's go. I need two cups of milk. I'm actually going to do the cornstarch next because that way I don't get cocoa powder in the cornstarch. I need four. Yeah, 4 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, I need 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. 1, 2, and 3. And my sugar, half a cup of sugar. And a teaspoon of vanilla, which I'm just going to kind of eyeball. And now we're going to whisk it until it gets thick. Okay, I've been stirring it pretty consistently for a solid 5 minutes, and it is now starting to thicken up. And just kind of like I figured, once it starts, it's going very rapidly. So I'm going to let this get, you know, pretty thick here. Okay, it is definitely thicker than like a gravy. And I've done stuff with cornstarch before that I notice that it does thicken up as it cools. So hopefully I made it thick enough. Alright, I'm going to cover them with some saran wrap and stick them in the fridge, but they look pretty good so far. I really hope this works because my kiddos love pudding, and this is like 5 ingredients versus who knows how much in store-bought ones, so if this works, I definitely have a winner. Alright, next step. It is about 4:15, so I'm going to go ahead, get some dishes done, and then I'm going to start on some enchiladas for supper. Okay, almost ready to start assembling the enchiladas. And then I've been told and I need to go outside and help him get some chicken feed put in a bulk feeder. So that'll be fun. We're going to see if we can get this supper in the oven here real quick and go out and do that. This is something we found for sale. Somebody local had made it. And so we are going to go get the chicken feed for the meat birds and put it in there. Meanwhile, this is what they look like. They're growing very rapidly. We have to make a little, I don't know, what do you want to call it? A wall for them, because they will just come right out the door. So, I believe they are about 3 weeks old. Growing quickly. let's try the pudding. It did set up. That top layer is almost like a gel, but if you mix it up, you have that really nice creamy texture. The kids approve. Hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, I think I'll be doing that one again. Okay, supper is done, cleaned up. I switched brands on enchilada sauce because my husband wasn't liking my homemade stuff, so I decided to buy some. And I did a different brand than what I used to do in the past. And we used some of my homemade cheese, which was a really, really sharp cheese this time around. So enchiladas were not as big of a hit as we were hoping, but anyways, so be it. I still need to bring the yogurt in from outside, get some of that straining and put the rest into containers because the big pot can't hardly fit in my refrigerator. And I'll need to strain that yet. And then I think I'm done for the day. We did think about going and getting more dirt, and Kirk and the kids may do that tonight, but some days my energy level leaves me before the end of the day is done. And today is one of those. It is shortly after 7 o'clock in the evening, and by the time I'm done doing my yogurt, I'm pretty much going to be done and exhausted. And so if he wants to get dirt, I will gladly let him and the kids go, but I'm going to wrap it up for the day. Okay, pretty normal. I have some liquid on top. Let me see if I can actually bring this over here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So there's a little bit of liquid on top, but there's definitely a nice thick yogurt underneath. And I'm gonna go ahead and get a cheesecloth and a strainer. Sorry, this is quite heavy. Like I said, my energy is about done for the day. And get some of it strained. And I'm gonna struggle to find room in the fridge because there's gonna be at least another 2 gallons left. Got the one refrigerator cleaned out today, but the other refrigerator is still very packed full. So yeah, that's gonna be a challenge to find a refrigerator room. Alright, I think that strainer is full. Next step is to go find some gallon containers. Okay, found some containers. Go ahead and put the yogurt put in them. You can see there's definitely a lot more liquid than when it first looked like that, and this guy is already straining a lot. I'm gonna put a plate over top of him and find some room in the refrigerator. Well, I hope you were able to kind of get a glimpse into what just kind of a normal day looks like as a homesteader. I believe tomorrow we were probably going to go into the county fair in the morning to watch some family in the show ring, and I will continue to have to strain the yogurt and package it. I may end up doing a little bit more housework tomorrow. Then the following day I will have a milk delivery and farmer's market to attend, and then I believe we have a wedding this weekend. I have a birthday party to get ready for. It's one of our kiddos. And so, yeah, this is just kind of a normal day. Every day is a little different, so it's kind of hard to say what's normal and what's not. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I am done. I'm going to put my feet up, take a shower later, and probably call it an early evening and go to bed. So, hope you guys have a great one, and until next time.